Hello, this is Chad Payne with Lens Software. In this video I'm going to show you how to set up Investor RT charts the quick and easy way. I'm going to show you a few tips and shortcuts that'll make getting set up with Investor RT charts a piece of cake. So let's get started. In the Object Manager, I'm going to choose Charts and click New. And I'll choose multi-pane charts. That's the standard bar and candle charts. So I'm just going to, a lot of this is not important to me. You just want to make sure it's multi-pane chart. I'm going to type in the symbol I want to chart, in this case the ES. That's not important either. You can change the symbol easily. I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to hit OK here. So here's my new chart. It's an untitled chart. You can see the name here, Untitled. I'm going to control click on this X in the upper left corner of the chart. And it's going to get rid of every single button, every indicator. It's just going to start with a blank slate. And then I can change the symbol, the periodicity, a lot of different options. I'll show you how to change those easily. I'm going to go ahead and give this a name. So I'm going to click on the Save button here, and I'm just going to call it My Chart. Each chart is saved with a unique name. So you have to save each chart with a unique name. Now I'm going to change some settings on this chart. I'm going to change it to a 30-minute chart. I want to see 30-minute bar. So I type in 30. I just click on the chart and type 30, enter. And now I got 30-minute charts. So if you just hit a number on the keyboard, it'll bring up the periodicity window, and you can change the periodicity to tick bars or range bars, any periodicity you like there. Now this chart is set up on the full session. I want to just watch the day session. So you can hit the comma key on the keyboard. Again, click on the chart, hit the comma key, and I want to click on 2 because session 2 is my day session, and hit enter. And now we're looking at just day session bars. So hit any number on the number key to change the periodicity, hit a comma to change the session, and let's go with the period key. Let's click on the period key because we've loaded 120 days and I only want to see 5 days. So I'm going to hit a 5. I hit a comma to bring up, or period to bring up the change view period window. 5, enter, changes me to just the last 5 days. So now I've got 5 days of 30-minute bars. Now if I want to change the symbol, I simply type in the new symbol, I'm going to do the NQ. So add NQ and hit enter. Now we're looking at the NASDAQ. You can just simply click on the chart, start typing the symbol you want to change to, and hit enter when you've chosen the right symbol. I'm going to change it back to the ES, add ES, hit enter, switches it back. Now if you forget any of these, you can always right click on the chart. You can do all these functions from the right click menu in the chart, periodicity, session, and so forth. So you don't have to remember these, but these are helpful, and these are make things a little bit quicker when you're changing these settings frequently. Another important shortcut, if you click on the chart and hit the space bar, it refreshes the last day of data, of tick data. And if you want to get 2 days, you right click and choose download data, and you can choose the last 2 sessions to refresh the last 2 sessions if you need to do that for whatever reason. To get to the chart preferences, you can double click in the scale at the bottom of the chart and it'll bring up the chart preferences. You can also get that from the right click menu, and you go here to change a lot of your settings, colors and bar style. You've got some schemes here you can change to. Let's do I can go quickly to black background, high contrast, and apply that. So you can quickly get some sort of presets of color combinations where you can customize them yourself. We can go back to, that was white background, low contrast I was looking at. So you can get this close to what you want and then tweak it from there. If you want to add an indicator to a chart, simply hit the insert key on the keyboard and the add indicator window comes up, and then you can hit the first character of the indicator you want to find. I'm going to hit an M and it goes right to the moving average, and let's just add a 25 period moving average and hit add and close. So now you've got a chart and you got it looking like you want. You got the right colors and maybe the right indicators in it, and you want to use that as a template. Well, I can take this chart, I can right click and choose duplicate, and I'm going to call this duplicate. It's going to leave that chart alone. It's going to make a duplicate. I'm going to call this my chart underscore NQ, and I'm simply going to change the symbol. So now I've got both charts here, and I'm going to change the symbol of this one again by clicking on the chart, typing in the symbol. Now I've got 2 charts that are basically identical from look and feel, just a different symbol, got the same indicator. And again, I can control click on this X and get rid of and clear it out and start from scratch again. So again, you have to remember to keep the names unique for the charts. Now you've got a chart, an indicator in one chart, and it's got the settings just like you want. You want to put another chart. Let me show you two ways to do that. I can just drag and drop it over here, and now I've got the same indicator, same settings, and I moved it over. Now I can also click on this, hit the delete key, and it removes that indicator. I can also bring up the preferences and choose at the very bottom, choose preset make default, and then when I go try to hit the insert key on the keyboard on this chart and choose moving average, that's going to be the default. Now it defaults to 25 period. But again, you got to click on the chart you're going to add it to first, then hit the insert key, hit an M, and then hit add and close. So now I'd add it to this chart with the same settings it had in this chart. And you can do that, sometimes some of these indicators have a lot more settings, like the session statistics indicator. And you take the time to set those up just like you want. Maybe in a chart you need to use the same settings in RTL. You can use that trick of making it the default preferences, or you can save those presets with a name and then go load those in your RTL object. And you'll notice that each indicator has a hotspot, and when you get close, when you get to the hotspot, the cursor will change. You see it changes to a hand with a finger out. So then you can double click on it to bring up the preferences, or you can click on it and hit the delete key, or you can right click on it and do things like export the data. So there's options, different right click options when you're directly on an indicator versus just in any white space in a chart. You'll get different pop-up menus, and this one's just related to that indicator, and when you right click in white space, it's related to the full chart. And you have a number of drawing tool buttons in the chart toolbar. I can click on the profile indicator drawing tool and simply drag a rectangle, and the hotspot for this, as you can see, is the rectangle, and I can drag that around different bars to profile different amounts of data. And I can double click on that line to bring up its preferences and change them to a volume based indicator. And I can also click on it, hit the delete key, and delete it. To perform a horizontal zoom, simply click on the chart and use the mouse scroll wheel. If you hold down the shift key, it'll do a vertical zoom. And if you hold down the control key while using the mouse wheel, you'll get a vertical scroll. And when you perform a vertical scroll or zoom and you want to get back to automatic scaling, you'll notice that the scale letter changes to an M for manual scaling. You can click on that, and let me move this over so you can see it. And then you can choose A, automatic, or you can choose O for instrument only scaling. And you'll notice the moving average itself moves off the screen because now we're scaling to only the bars or candles. And if I can change that back to A, and then it includes the moving average in the consideration for scaling. So again, if you do a vertical scroll and you get the bars off the chart, you can always choose automatic here to get everything back into view, or you can choose instrument only. You have a lot of other options here. You can always double click in the scale to bring up the scaling preferences and see all the options here. You have like range based. I can set it to a percentage of range, like 120% of the range, and you'll get a little space on the top and bottom of the visible elements. And you can simply double click in the chart, anywhere in the chart, and you'll bring up the chart element manager, and you can click on an indicator and delete it. You can do a lot here with the elements. Set the position relative to each other, which one's drawn on top, which one's drawn on bottom. You can delete them. So I hit the delete key and it removes that moving average. I can click on the profile indicator and hit delete and it removes that. So you can manage your chart, manage your panes, and manage the elements in the charts and panes all from within this chart element manager, which you access by double clicking in the chart, or there's an option in the right click menu, element manager here. So I hope those tips and shortcuts will help you get off the ground running with InvestorRT charts. If you have any questions on any of this functionality, please email support@lensoft.com. Thank you.